All right, man. Let's get into this. So, deep sigh. So, our final review of the day is going to be for Tron Ares. Tron Ares is the third film in the Tron franchise. There, we just did a retro review for Tron Legacy. Neil joined me for that. That'll be up on YouTube pretty soon there, and I'll post that before we'll post this review for Tron Ares there. How familiar are you with the Tron franchise there, Dusk? Have you seen all the Tron movies? Tron Legacy, Tron?
Well, last time we were on a show together, I wanted a whole thing talking about how I've seen Tron. I own the vinyl for Legacy,
Ah,
and I went
yeah.
into Daft Punk and Tron Legacy, and how I was really hoping they wouldn't screw this up because I've been waiting a long time for a continuation on the Legacy.
Mm. And you even told me about that. You the first person I never heard about it before. The Tron animated
Yep,
series,
Tron
Tron Up.
Uprising. And I
Wh-
also mentioned Tron 2.0, the first person shooter.
yeah. So Tron super fan over here.
I joined me some Tron.
Yeah, you're kind of very Tron-esque a little Daft Punk Tron-esque in your
Yeah.
caricature there. You got to upgrade. So yeah, this is the latest movie in the franchise there. This is directed by Joachim Rønning there. His other
Ooh.
credits include Young Woman in the Sea. He also did Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, which was the sequel to the first Maleficent movie.
So the worst one.
Yeah, the worst one. Hey, if you think so, I mean, yeah, I don't think I saw that one. I can't remember. But and he also did Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, which also was one of the worst Pirates of the Caribbean movies. But yes, what's happening in this new Tron movie here?
Please
Well,
explain.
yes, I'll do my best, Dusk, and you'll let me know
Please
as a
do.
Tron fan here. Well, like the last Tron movie, it opens up with a little bit of a montage there, showing you all these different news clippings and broad news broadcasters talking about what's has happened. It catches us up in the last 15 years of Tron lore there of what's going on. So what's going on is you have the company of Incom there has been now taken over by Greta Lee's character. It's a sister duo, Eve Kim, and then she has her sister there as well, who passed away before the events of this movie that we're seeing. And they're in competition and rivals to another competing company, the Dillinger Corporation there, who is now being ran by Evan Peters, who's Julian Dillinger, who's the son of the legacy character there, who's a legacy character himself, Richard Dillinger. He took over control of the company, especially over his mother, who's Elizabeth Dillinger, who's played by Gillian Anderson. So you have these two companies, Incom and the Dillinger Corporation there, and both of them are competing to find who's going to break the next scientific discovery as far as AI goes. AI is the big thing right now. Who's going to be able to do that? I mean, you have Greta Lee's character and Eve, who wants to use AI for good. She's like, we want to feed the hungry and house the homeless and do all that good shit. And then you have Evan Peters, who's like, listen, I just want to sell this AI technology and my AI soldiers to the military. Always the military. You got to sell it for weapons, and I want to use it for that. So they're trying to crack the code as far as the how to make AI creations permanent. What can they do to have it last in the real world forever there? And it's a race for that. Did I basically get that? Is probably all the things there.
You explained it better than the movie did.
Yeah, so you got that. But yeah, that's kind of the setup you have of the movie there. And Jared Leto is the AI soldier that Evan Peters creates to
A
basically as a
disposable soldier that can be brought back and die and brought back again because muhahaha, I'm evil.
yeah. He's on living his best live, die, and repeat, Edge of Tomorrow type
Yeah.
style there, where you have these programs who constantly die 1,000 times over and over
And
again.
de-res and then are re-resed.
Yeah, and it looks like a violent death too. When
Oh,
they,
yeah, it's painful.
yeah, it looks like when like a vampire sees the sun and they
Yeah,
just go
surprisingly.
in.
Oh, yeah, like Morbius.
Yeah, like yeah, like Morbius. He kind of does that there. He even has his kind of Morbius look, beard
Oh,
and
yeah.
long, dark, long hair. Um, Dusk. What are your thoughts, man? Tron Ares.
You know, 15 years ago, there actually originally was going to be a script concept for the Legacy, making Tron Legacy 2. They actually had everyone signed on to make the sequel. They had everybody back. It was going to be a continuation of what they started with Legacy, and which was adapted from the original Tron movie. And they were ready to go, about to do pre production, when Disney just decided, yeah, no, we're just not going to go through with it. So they were right there, ready to make a continuation. They had a script set up, they're ready to go, and then they just decided to cancel. 15 years later, they decide to give us this, a movie that has no connection to Tron Legacy, no connection to Tron at all, almost very little, with a bunch of new characters that you don't know, nor do you care about, that a plot that you could not give two figs about, and that doesn't make any sense even when you do understand it and explained it. Even when you explained it, it's like, this don't make any sense. And someone thought to themselves, they went, you know what, Tron, the grid is so cool, but what if the grid came to us? And
Mm,
what should have happened is that person should have been immediately fired and ejected from the room, because that misses the whole point of the Tron movies. Not
mm,
just from a basic premise, it just doesn't make sense for a story in the way it's written. There are the characters in this movie have are one of the most, I would swear AI had to have write the dialogue for these characters, but then AI would have done a better job than what they did here. AI would have been consistent and at least tried to come with a beginning, middle, and end. This movie feels dissected. It feels bisected. It feels put together, slapdashed, and cheap. It feels like a virus intercepted the original script and was rewritten over and over and put in with more topical elements to make it unlike anything of what originally started. Did you know Jared Leto's character, when he signed on, Ares was going to be the villain for Legacy 2?
mm.
He was going
Okay.
to be the villain straight up, and that's what Jared Leto signed on off on, and he was happy to play when he originally signed on it. And then it just kept being rewritten, where, oh, maybe he's not the villain, maybe he's kind of sort of, he's still the bad guy, but maybe he's like he's got stuff as well that we can give him some nuance. And then his character kept rewritten and rewritten, and things keep getting more changed until Sam Flynn, the main character, and Cora, they were removed from the story. Oh, and Tron in the movie Tron, who he doesn't show up in this movie at all, he was eventually removed. And so you have an entire cast of nobodies in a movie that felt usurped and replaced, as if you selected all the characters, press alt switch with anyone else that you wanted, and then just left them bare bones. I don't know who the actress who plays the new quote unquote CEO
Greta
of
Lee.
Encom, Greta Lee, but that woman cannot act.
You saw Past Lives, didn't you?
She can't act in this movie to save her life. I don't, it's like, I'm sure it's the script or whatever, but she is absolutely emotionless. You cannot feel a single emotion she's saying. You cannot feel anything for her. And she's only there, and then like this, she's only there because, well, where's Sam Flynn? Where's Cora? Where's Tron in the movie called Tron? No, he ran his father's business to the ground, even though he stepped up to a legacy, and that was the whole point of the previous movies. Nah, he couldn't handle it, so he stepped down, and then he's gone for personal reasons. And
Yeah.
that's all you get. They don't even mention Tron. They didn't even think about his character. But you know what? Who did show up in this movie? Jeff Bridges showed up for a quick scene with Ares for a goddamn paycheck. How did Jeff Bridges come back? Literally, in this movie, he says, "I'm here because you're here, man." I'm like,
Mm.
what? What? That I'm here because the script needed me to be here because they told me to be here. Give me money, please.
I mean, to be fair, I think that sequence in the movie is probably the best part of the
It
movie.
is, ironically, probably the best sequence in this movie of this terrible, terrible, terrible movie. Uh, you know what? I'll say one, maybe two nice things about this movie. The visuals still have that very nice Tron-esque when they're occasionally showing grid or they're occasionally showing the bikes. Those are kind of cool. And the red scheme could have been menacing and interesting and would have been a really cool dynamic between the good guys and the bad guys. Uh, Problem is there are really no interesting good guys, and the bad guy is one of your protagonists. So sort of, kind of, because they've rewritten him to make him the protagonist. And the real bad guy, in quotes, is the bad guy you knew for the minute of it, who is Evan Peters, who just is completely wasted in this movie, along with who plays his mother. If I believe correctly, that
Gillian
is,
Anderson.
yeah, Julian is completely wasted. She should have been the villain, honestly. Just make her old ass the villain, and you could have had a more interesting rivalry between Sam High, Cora, and Tron, and that could have been actually interesting. And Ares as her puppet. And even if you want to have the son character there, Evan Peters' character, fine, but at least that would have been an interesting trio to go up against. No, this movie picked the lamest possible option you could. I'll say the final last thing I'll say about it is Trent Reznor, congratulations, you got a paycheck. People who Nine Inch Nails fans, you'll get a compilation of Trent Reznor's ghost tracks, because Trent Reznor realized what a trash fire this movie was and says he figured out a way to sell his latest set of ghost tracks as a movie soundtrack. And you know what? Even his ghost tracks are better than most average track they probably could have come up with. But if you're going to compare it to Legacy soundtrack by Daft Punk, which is absolutely sublime, this soundtrack's fine. It's pretty good, but it's not that level. But it's going to
Mm.
be the best thing you find here.
Hmm. I don't know. I was the soundtrack of this. I think I like it. I don't know. Maybe I got to go back and listen to it again because I just watched Tron Legacy recently. I think I like this better than the Tron Legacy score
Hmm.
that Daft Punk did.
I
Um,
challenge you to watch it, listen to it from beginning to end, and play the movie in your head and know that what's happening scene by scene. Well, if I can do that every single time with Legacy. With this, I've
mm,
listened to it after I watched this. I went
mm,
and listened to the entire soundtrack again, and I'm like, certain songs just don't flow into each other. They're solid songs of their own, but they just don't flow. It doesn't feel like a flowing movie soundtrack. It feels like some of them were made for the movie and others were just ghost tracks that he just cobbled into the movie for certain scenes.
mm. Maybe it's
And I
because I
don't
just
know if that's the movie because they had certain scenes in mind and then they were chopped and screwed to get it to this way, or he just stitched this together like some producers do.
hmm. I mean, maybe it's because I'm not really big on Tron Legacy. I think that movie is not very strong
I
either.
mean, that's
Uh,
fine, but it's
but
stronger than this.
uh, I don't know. I got it.
What
Well,
do
I'll
you
see
mean
what
I don't know?
I'll see what we'll do the final rating here for this. But I mean, like you said, I mean, this Tron movie, just like Tron Legacy, I mean, good looking movie. I mean, the visuals are good here. I didn't see this in 3D or IMAX. I just saw it in
Mm,
regular screen. Did you see it in 3D or IMAX?
no,
Okay. I imagine it's a better experience for some people who
I'm
do
sure.
who have said they have seen it in 3D, that it's a little bit of a better upticked experience there for them with that one, and they actually do some good stuff with that. Um, and the music, you mentioned Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor, they're doing it. They're taking over for Daft Punk, who did the last movie. That's one of the better parts of this movie as well. The music is really good. From it's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Atticus Russ is his
Yeah,
name, who's doing it there. I think that's really highlight. Everything else, I mean, you just much like how I feel about Tron Legacy, you could just kind of throw it away. Other than that, I mean, the story
I
again,
hard disagree.
um, I think weak story, weak characters. Don't really care about really anybody in the movie all that much. They try to do some stuff there with Jared Leto's character Ares, which a lot of people go like, "Well, I'm already not interested in this movie because Jared Leto and I just hate Jared Leto." They already hate him off the bat. They try to do something with him where this again, it's a stuff we've seen a million times in sci-fi with no real good, interesting execution or good execution of it, or interesting twist to things of just like, he's a person who's gaining sentience as this AI and he's becoming more aware. Even though that happens incredibly fast. I mean, Evan Peters designed this thing to be the perfect soldier and to follow all orders, and it seems like already he's already suspicious of things right out the gate when we first see him. Evan Peters in the movie, his character, um, I he's just I mean, he's a very good actor, and I know he could do
He has
better.
nothing to work with in this.
Nothing to work with. There's
None of them have anything to work with this.
some of the stuff feels like it got cut out with him, like,
That's what I feel like. This movie is chopped and screwed.
because his character has, like, tattoos and everything like that,
Yeah.
that you see. Like, I thought there was gonna be something to that, more
Yeah,
to
it goes
that.
nowhere.
Gillian Anderson in this, she has 2 things to do in this movie. One is to remind Evan Peters' character about the board. It's like, "Oh, the board's not gonna like this," or, "The board's gonna disapprove of this," or to tell him, "Oh, you're not supposed to do that. That's bad. This is dangerous," and wag her finger. Is for him to just do it anyway,
Yeah.
and just to do it. That's kinda all the purpose she serves. Greta Lee, who, I was mainly interested to see Greta Lee. I loved her in past lives. I thought she was really amazing here. She really also is a nothing burger of a character, as well as just she doesn't really have any good, characterization
She
there.
sucked in this along with everyone else.
Yeah, the only character to me that was somewhat strong in it was Jodie Turtis-Smith as Athena. Like,
Really?
I think she was kind of I think out of everybody, she was probably the best one out of everybody.
Faint
I thought
praise.
she executed things really well as far as, like, she's this one kinda tracked, mission focused kind of, program, that, she gets assigned to do. I think that worked kind of for her and kinda her character there, and I like that quite a bit, but everything else kind of uh, falls to the wayside there. We mentioned the scene with Jeff Bridges who pops up, and there's a scene where you even see it in the trailer where they kind of go back to the 1982 Tron and that grid. That was probably the best sequence in all the movie, and I was really like that sequence quite a bit, and I like that. Um, but yeah, everything else, if it wasn't action or wasn't anything else as far as the visual goes, it's just yeah, you're right, it's a dumpster fire. But I'll let you go ahead and talk a little.
No, I mean, I waited 15 years for this.
Mm.
God damn.
Yeah. Well, hey man, maybe root for this to do well. Maybe you get another
No, I
try.
want it to die. Disney is
uh,
incapable of making anything halfway decent. You
did
know,
they? Oh no,
good.
they didn't. Oh no, I was gonna say they didn't do Legacy, did they? Oh yeah, they did do
Yes,
Legacy,
they
right?
did.
Yeah.
Again, 15 years ago. That's how much Disney has changed. 15 years ago, I would have loved, or at least I would have been happy to at least see them get another chance at Tron. Maybe punch up the script a bit more. Improve the characters. Let them explore angles. There are so many angles to having Korra as an ISO in the real world, going back into the grid. Sam being now CEO of the company, and Tron being helping him out, and also Tron being silent for most of Legacy, having him break out of that conditioning and appearing as a full-fledged character in the third one, reconnecting, getting back into it, reconnecting into the grid. There are so many opportunities going against the characters like Ares and the other boards or other companies. There are so many avenues they could have done with Korra. Hey, Korra, how do you breathe? Do you eat? Are you interested in anything? How are you functioning in this world? What is it against the competition of the ever-growing AI space? There are so many avenues they could have done, so many ways they could have done such interesting things while involving Tron and the grid, and doing a lot of interesting angles, having connecting that as a long, or at least a pretty solid third movie. And they took none of the angles, even concepts in this movie they could have explored. They did nothing with. So
Mm.
this is clear to me that they had one angle. They wanted to replace everybody from the original movie and replace them with other people, and then just go, yeah, your Tron movie that has no Tron, has no Sam, has no Korra, has nothing relating to the original, but we're still going to call it Tron anyways. And instead of focusing on the grid, we're just going to bring it to the real world. Oh,
Mm.
and not only we're going to crap on the original premise of the movies, we're going to double down on that. So please give me money. No, To that, I say no, Disney. I'm not interested in giving you my money. I'm not
Mm,
interested in letting other people give you more money. This movie is an abomination and is an
wow.
insult to the previous IP that you once again another IP that Disney has taken and put down into the grave. They've done it with Star Wars. They've done it with Indiana Jones. They've done it with every single IP, even Maleficent to an extent, their previous movies, their Disney remakes. Just another one of their 15 years ago, I maybe would have been happy to have seen, or at least interested to see another continuation. But I was worried that they might screw this up. The more I saw, the more cautiously optimistic I was. Well, that optimism is gone. This
Mm,
is terrible. It's tripe. It should be absolutely deleted. Anyone who have passing interest, don't even bother seeing this. You have a 4K, you can get a 4K of the original and Legacy. In my mind, Cora and Sam are riding off into the sunset with a future adventure that can any fan, I'm sure with their salt with the new AI can make a better story and better visuals than they ever could do with this movie. And this movie was 130 plus million dollars.
yeah.
They put a
Says
shit ton of money into this
180.
crap script and crap story and crap dialogue.
Mm, wow. Um, yeah. I mean, I'm not a Tron guy. Even the first movie I'm not a fan
That's
of.
fine. It's not
Uh,
about that.
the sequel I'm not a fan of.
Mhm.
So this was to me, this was like, okay, it's kind of more of the same with the Tron
I
stuff.
actually
Like
can't believe you would say that. That you can't just recognize this as just not being good even its own merits. You may not like the previous ones, but you could at least respect the merit and the technology that was at the time, the scores, the music. You can at
this has
least
good music.
respect those elements.
Yeah. I mean, I know you said this was weaker, but this had good music too. I said the music was good. I
It
said the
had
music was good
fine
was in the
music by
previous one.
Trent Reznor as Nine Inch Nails. They did fine. It's the best part of this movie, but that doesn't absolve it from all its other issues. The other is like Legacy had really good music, and that doesn't absolve Legacy from its problems. I'll openly admit that Legacy has a lot of problems, but it still had a foundational core. It had interesting things. It still had things that it could go into. And then
Mm.
instead of continuing that quote unquote legacy, they just cut it off and just left it to die and basically started over with nothing from the original. So why even call this Tron?
Mm. It should be so they
They
take these
brought it
characters.
back because its name could sell, and then they destroyed it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, with the last one, I mean, when I say more of the same, it's
Mhm.
like, okay, it's good music and good visuals, but everything else is kind of weak. And that's the same how I feel about Tron Ares. Like good music, good visuals, everything else is really weak. Um, with that is and they do with this, they do set up a mid-credit scene to do a sequel. I don't know if it's gonna get that,
Yeah.
but I mean, like you said, it has to make up a lot of money because the budget on this is pretty high. It's 180 million, so they probably
It
got to
ain't
make
making that back.
500 million, half a billion
And
there.
they should know better. The previous Legacy, even without all this, Legacy was notoriously well liked by a lot of people. As a passionate audience, it only made like less than 100 million. It didn't do well at the box office. Neither did the original Tron.
Tron Legacy, sorry, it made 400 million, it made 400
It,
plus.
it made okay. Like,
Yeah,
oh, you know what I mean? Okay for what they wanted.
yeah. On a budget of 170 million, so it did
Yeah.
decent. It did
They
decent.
decent.
Yeah.
Okay, just enough that they might consider a sequel, but then they just pulled the plug. But this, it ain't even gonna make that. It
Mm.
was already like a risky gambit to do another like this amount of money to do this movie again, and then to double down on this script with these characters and this plot.
Oh man. Um, I mean, so the positives for you, music, action. What about the
No,
action?
I don't, fuck the action. It doesn't mean anything if the characters don't mean jack shit and they look like they're standing in front of a green screen half the
Mm,
fucking time.
mm, yeah. Um,
This is I'm sorry, this is a waste of fucking film.
oh, waste of
Wasted
fun.
my time, wasted your time. The only thing they'll get out of this that I'll listen. I'll listen on Spotify to the soundtrack.
Yeah. I was thinking I'd download the soundtrack. I'd download the Nine Inch Nails. I'd probably
That's
listen to
fine. That's
like
it. That's
gym
all it's
playlist.
got.
Yeah, I'd probably do that with it.
But I will
Um,
keep my 4K Tron and Tron Legacy Blu-rays and just imagine something else, and just consider this as a like not even register this, and just hope that this just gets buried, and maybe
mm,
in 10 years, 25 years later, they might actually make a proper sequel.
mm. So 15 years later, they're gonna make another sequel.
They'll never 30 years after the original, yeah, they'll make another one where everyone's fucking old and they have to do this all again. Or just
Mm.
make it animated at this point.
Another animated series. I don't know. Maybe they'll do that again.
Well, we've seen how good that one lasted because Uprising only got one season. It was on, I think, Disney XD and wasn't very well promoted, but you know, Tron is just unfortunately a cursed franchise.
Mm,
Passionately loved by the people who care about it, and but it never quite hits the mainstream.
yeah.
And now, when it
Uh,
might have the chance to do so, they do this.
hmm. I would give it Tron Ares a low stream it. I'd give it a low stream it for me.
Damn,
Yeah, which is about kind of sort of the same I give the other ones. Yeah, kind of
it's
like
blowing
that.
my mind that you're even
Yeah,
like putting them on the same level.
yeah. Yeah, man. I like the same things of this as I liked in Legacy, pretty much. So, yeah. But I mean, Dusk hated it. I mean, I love seeing you passionate about it, man. I love seeing it.
Mm.
You were passionate about this. Uh, so you give it a waste of film.
Absolutely. If there was anything lower, I'd give it lower than that.
Wow. So this is gonna be on your worst of list, worst
This
of
is gonna be on
2020.
my worst. There is no way this is not gonna be on my worst of.
Wow.
Absolutely. It may not meet the top. It may even not even be in the top 5, but it's gonna be somewhere on there.
Jeez. Okay. So this is gonna be on your worst of list. All right. Yeah, you give it a waste of film. I give it a stream
Some
it.
other trash is gonna have to move aside to make room for Tron Ares.
And there's also like another thing before we close out. There's
Yeah.
also useless side characters as well. I mean, if the
Yeah.
main character's not
You didn't
gonna
have
be
to
good,
mention any of them.
yeah, like this Hassan Minja, who's a funny guy. He plays like
He's
someone
a
who's a
nothing character in this.
nothing character really.
Along with
R2,
Seth Arturo Castro as
who's
Seth. Like, who gives a crap?
very annoying in this. And I like that actor, but his role
Yeah.
is super
No, all
annoying.
these characters are, again, superfluous. Every single one of these characters are superfluous. They all gone. Everyone but Jeff Bridges gone. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's like, well, hey, we got Jeff Bridges back, man. Y'all love Jeff Bridges. That's enough. We don't
For
have to bring
5
back.
seconds
We don't have to bring back
with
Garrett
no
Hedlund.
explanation of how he came back after what happened in Legacy. They didn't even
Yeah.
try. They're just like, "Yeah, I'm here, man, because you're here, bro." Because 1980s, and the programming in 1980s is going to solve a problem to keeping someone from a ISO, or not even an ISO, from derezzing 29 minutes after creation.
Uh-huh.
Also,
Jesus.
how does that work in digestion? You want to create food and other bullshit, whatever thing, to make them a good person, but 29 minutes. I'm like, well, if it's already digested, how does it derez?
Yeah. Well, I guess they were talking about growing it like farms and stuff like that.
How? How are you going to grow? What? You're just making a seed?
I don't
The
know.
biochemistry out of that? Yeah, this whole thing doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, but hey, anyway, she's trying to do her best, man. She's trying to feed the world, man. That's a good. That's a good noble aspiration. She's trying to do that.
It's a
Um.
lazy aspiration
Yeah.
for a
Uh.
movie, at least. Not a noble goal in real life, but lazy in this.
So yeah. Uh. So that was our review. Tron Ares there.